everyone, welcome to our new video. Today we will study about extrusion and its types. So first of all, let us study what is extrusion. Extrusion is a process by which long straight metal parts can be produced. In this process, metal is squeezed through an orifice or die opening in order to obtain a reduction in diameter and increase in length of the metal block. Extrusion is done by squeezing metal in a closed cavity through a tool known as die using either a mechanical or hydraulic process. So extrusion is basically of two types, hot extrusion and cold extrusion. So first we will study about hot extrusion. Hot extrusion is a hot working process, which means that it is above the material's recrystallization temperature to keep the material from work hardening and to make it easier to push the material through the die. Cold extrusion is similar to hot extrusion. The difference is that cold extrusion is done at room temperature or near the room temperature. Today we will study about four types of extrusion processes, which is direct extrusion, indirect extrusion, impact extrusion, and hydrostatic extrusion. So let us study all of them one by one. First one is direct extrusion. Direct extrusion, also called as forward extrusion, is a process in which the billet workspace moves along the same direction as the ram. Indirect extrusion, sliding of billet is against stationary container wall due to the friction between the container and billet is high. As a result, greater forces are required. Now let us study indirect extrusion. Indirect extrusion is also called backward extrusion. It is a process in which ram moves opposite to that of the billet. Here, there is no relative motion between the container and the billet. Hence, there is less friction and hence reduced forces are required for indirect extrusion. As you can see in the graph, the force required in direct extrusion is very high as compared to that of indirect extrusion. Now we will study about hydrostatic extrusion. In hydrostatic extrusion, the container is filled with a fluid. Extrusion pressure is transmitted through the fluid to the billet. Friction is eliminated in this process because there is no contact between the billet and the container wall. Main disadvantages of this process is leakage of pressurized oil and uncontrolled speed of extrusion at exit. This may result in shock in the machinery. So now let's move on to the last part, impact extrusion. Impact extrusion is a manufacturing process similar to extrusion and drawing by which products are made with a metal slug. The slug is pressed at a high velocity with extreme force into a die or mold by a punch. Hollow sections such as cups, toothpaste containers are made by impact extrusion. It is a variation of indirect extrusion. The punch is made to strike the workpiece at high speed by impact load. So, this was all for this video. I hope you understood extrusion and its types. If you found this video useful, please like our video and subscribe to our channel.